When Mike got the job, he had called and asked if we wanted to scrimmage, and so we did, and that has just maintained. I talked to him this morning and said we're not scrimmaging anymore, so hopefully we'll find someone else.
Could you speak to the Spiders' mindset coming off that loss to St. Joseph in Brooklyn and going to Blacksburg?
Well, yeah, I mean, college basketball is cruel, and when you take the floor, as much as you don't want to think about it, that can happen. And when it's late in the season like that in a conference tournament, that's what can happen. So it was devastating. The more you care and the more committed to one another you are, the harder it is. So that part was certainly difficult. But that doesn't mean we can't regroup and be focused on Virginia Tech and our preparation and playing up there. It's a great opportunity for us. It's a great program to play. And I think the guys, we were together last night to work out and watch the selection show, and I think the guys are in a great state of mind and ready to play.
The lane widens for NIT competition. I wonder if you think that makes any difference in what you do offensively or defensively?
Yeah. I don't know, John. I think, for us, Grant Golden, I used to complain about 3 seconds. And they would say we're calling it both ways, and I would joke, Grant Golden hadn't been in the lane in 5 years, So he's comfortable posting up far outside the lane. So I don't think for us, the idea is positive for us. The concept of more space near the basket, less crowded. That concept is positive for us. It's also positive for Virginia Tech, who runs a really great offense. So I think that I think if they implemented it for a season, it would be a positive development for us. I don't know with one game or tomorrow night's game if it will mean anything.
Hey, can I slip one more in about the portal, which has been very good for you for the last couple of years, and I wonder if that influences you and your recruiting as you move forward into this next 3 or 4 week period that's big.
Yeah, if it's 3 or 4 weeks, John, I will give you a bonus. I think for us, we feel that we're an attractive place for anybody, but now with the success that really all 6 guys we've taken from the portal have had and demonstrated, Jordan's being phenomenal success, Neil's being pretty close to phenomenal success. Yeah, I think that we're attractive in that way, and we'll work hard to try to identify. For us, it's still going to be about fit, just the University of Richmond, how we play, types of people that we want to be around and we want to work with. But yeah, we feel confident that we can do well in the transfer portal.
For your players, it's the next game and it's another opportunity. But for the program, it's postseason and a Power 5 team, which scheduling doesn't offer you the chance to do very much.
Yeah.
What kind of an overall opportunity is this for the program?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that postseason appearance more than ever before is a great accomplishment. So we've already had a tremendous accomplishment in winning the regular season championship. This is another opportunity to play in the postseason, to play at an ACC school who we greatly respect. So it's a great opportunity. I think that we've had success in the NIT, and a big part of it, as I think is fairly common knowledge, is who's ready to play, and who can establish that early. You don't want to have cobwebs that you need to dust off or feel the game out. You want to be ready to play, and I thought we were in Brooklyn, and I think we will be tomorrow night.
There's an entire season between tomorrow night's game and that scrimmage. Yeah. Anything that you can take from it at all, or not really?
Well, yeah. I mean, nothing that I didn't know before, but how hard they move, how well they change speed, how physical they are, how well coached they are. They have a lot of misdirection. They just have a great concept on offense, and how they move the ball and how they get shooter shots and post position, things like that. They really have a great concept. So it's good for our guys because in a scouting report, the best way to understand a player that you're playing against is to have played against them. Just to judge how fast he is, how much space he needs on a shot, those kinds of things. So that helps. Of course, that helps both teams.
Does it make any difference in your view? You're playing with that in the NIT here. Does it make any difference, and in what way?
I don't think so. I mean, it's even when I catch the ball, I'm not necessarily catching it too deep most of the time, so it shouldn't be too big of a difference. And there's no defense at 3 seconds either, so it probably won't be that big of a deal.
How about describing Spider's mindset coming off that loss in Brooklyn and heading up to Blacksburg?
Yeah, it's just we got one more chance to play. You know, obviously we wanted to go on a run there. They hit shots, we didn't. But, you know, we still get a chance to play with this group of guys, this special group, so I'm looking forward to it.
What was what do you remember from the preseason scrimmage with those guys, and how similar or different are you from that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think both teams are probably worlds different than they were, you know, back in October or whatever it was. But, you know, Coach Young is a phenomenal coach. He has a lot of sets, a lot of really good sets, misdirections, cross screens, pistol actions. So we pretty much got to be ready for everything. And just, you know, we don't have necessarily a lot of preparation time for it, but just to rely on our principles and hopefully we'll get there.
Did you guys probably had an inkling that the game in Brooklyn wouldn't be your last game. So what have the last couple of days been like, just kind of sitting around and waiting to know that you have the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it was a good chance for guys to step away for a day or two. But, you know, we had a good workout last night. You know, I've been around working on my game. So I think everyone's still ready and locked in. It was just finding out who we play, where we played, and so on.
This is also a chance against an ACC team, which don't come around very often with scheduling and everything. Do you guys consider it more of just another opportunity to play, or does that kind of creep into the back of your heads too?
Yeah, I mean, sure, everyone's, you know, it's always a pride thing when you go up against a bigger school like that. You know, you want to put on a good performance for Richmond and you know, for yourselves to prove that you could play at that level. So I think it definitely helps that it's a Power 5 that we're playing against.
I guess as it turned out, 6 teams are going to the postseason from the A-10. Can you speak to what that meant for this year in the Atlantic 10? I know 2 of them were NCAA and 4 of them at IT.
Yeah, I mean, am I going to get fined?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just think that the A-10 is a phenomenal league. You know, it's a top 8 team and top 8 league team in the country, and you know, so many great teams that with 20+ wins, and to be kind of underrepresented in the tournament, and it sucks, but you know, it is what it is. We knew what it was, you know, halfway during the season, so you know, we knew we had to make a run. We didn't, and you know, we're grateful to be playing in the NIT.